sometimes now they're back in North Georgia yet again. Anything else that we're seeing that should have done differently? No. Rip is chilling over in his direction. And yeah, everything else is pretty good.
Zoekt Een Naam, of course, landing in Pochinki. Is that really a surprise? Of course not. Gamerlegion, somewhat near enough to them, and of course PG followed kind of to the west side. So we're seeing a bit of a run kind of diagonally of like PG, Gamerlegion, Zoekt Een Naam, No Tag Team, and Northern Lights. And this first circle has exposed itself.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which side of the river it's going to end up going to. Of course, that's going to be in the heads of a lot of these players coming into their first rotation. Do we go up north? Do we stay down south? Of course, I mean, statistically, or at least percentage-wise, there's more landmass on the southern side. But we've seen crazier things happen before in PUBG as far as the circles shifting to what you thought it wouldn't.
So then, a question for you, Toby. If you're one of these teams, would you expose yourself more to the north side or the south side of the river? I know you said that theoretically there is more landmass on the south, but what would you do? South?
Yeah. What I quickly want to touch upon is Resu taking out one of the players in Riddle. Not only is it then the second game in a row where Riddle loses a player early, it's also Moonwolf kind of saying, you know what, we're gonna expand our territory. We're gonna go over to your block now and start taking over your turf, because Moonwolf, I mean, whenever they've gone east, they've been pretty not locked down completely, but somewhat locked down over in the area of Lipovka. And now I think Rizzo, he was like, you know, I think I can contest this, guys. I think I can take Mansion, and well, he got it.
Well, Moonwolf need that good result. They need a confidence boost. I feel so.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing.
You know, taking on and knocking down and killing, of course, one member Riddle. It's a sign, and it's something that is kind of saying to the other teams, look, and of course the rest of Riddle, look, we are not here to play around. We're here to fight. We're here to push ourselves in this game, or we're going to move it on forward.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how Riddle is going to turn things around here. Of course, Clip managed to sneakily make his way into that top spot last game, but I hope for Riddle that they have other things in mind with this game. Of course, they are in a decent spot in the circle. Don't really have to worry about too many things. Also, a quick addition to the whole change of things is the Northern Lights. They've come say hello up in Yasnaya. They're normally your military team, but because the plane was as far north as it was, and they didn't want to have to contest vehicles with everyone trying to go down south, they took Yasnaya, and it kind of makes sense, right? Because We Need a Home is the only Yasnaya team here, and you can easily split Yasnaya and We Need a Home. I don't think they're a team that would want to contest anything, so they'd just say, you know what, you go west, we'll take east.
And outside that, we do see We Need a Home of somewhat split. So Rip 9 is further north. We see Rita's further south, and obviously the final two members of We Need a Home are inside Yasnaya. So it could spell a small bit of trouble for We Need a Home. Of course, presuming the other two members of We Need a Home do join them sooner rather than later, it'll make it a little bit easier. But let's see how both teams will respond and whether they'll spot each other out any point soon.
Yeah, I highly doubt any confrontations are going to happen in Yasnaya. We already see Northern Lights leave. I mean, they already have a position with OK Bro sitting on the eastern side of Rostock. So he has a compound down there. He knows that the ones north of him should be clear. And there's not really any reason for them to go contest anything inside of Yasnaya. Now, of course, they do want to secure some sort, and that's the thing everybody kind of wants to do here. Secure some sort of a safe, like, transportation route from one side of the river over to the other, whether that's taking control of a bridge somewhere, whether that's going up on the eastern side and say, you know, we'll sit up here and hold off rotations, whether it's you just hawking the edge and going all the way over Stalbert to make it north, or the other way around for that sake. I don't know, but I think that most teams here, they'll look to sit somewhat close to the river and wait until that circle does finally confirm what side we go to.
Well, that's what exactly Besiktas are looking to do, and Paige from Zoekt Een Naam has gotten a bit of a spot on to where they are, taking a couple of shots, as are Avangar, or one member of Avangar. I think he's kind of seen that and maybe gone, okay, let's kind of turn a little bit to the left and go a little bit further away.
And Tok, they are... they saw this and they were probably thinking, you know what, there's no reason to engage in all of Besiktas. They know it's them because they saw the vehicles rotate out from South George as well. They know, I mean, if there's a team, like if there's one team that more often than not will stop if they're getting shot at by just like they'll just stop. Everyone jumps out of the car, starts shooting at that one guy shooting at them. That would be Besiktas. They do not have any respect for people trying to kill them on rotations. They'll just pull up on them and make them regret their decisions.
So you do see Rip 9 spots. I think it was 4AK. I was driving in that vehicle. Yes, once indeed. Havoc getting out of there with Ronnie Cray and Rita. Spots from a distance. Could this be a bit of a 1v2?
We talked about not being in the best position and force splitting early. Rita has 0 meds.
Yeah.
Unless if this is a bug, which I highly doubt that it is. Rita has 0 meds and now 0 utility too. You need to get the hell out of there. You need to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I get using that one smoke that she did have to now exit from that area, but I suppose why put yourself in that position in the first place?
Also, I mean, there's got to be some meds in the compound, right? I mean, we have the settings that we do. Unless if that would be the unluckiest situation I've ever seen. If you loot all of that compound and there's absolutely no meds in there. So get up to Rip, settle down in the compound, the two of you, get those meds going, and then
get the high ground as well.
I mean, just take the compound.
Yep.
You have Rip in there already. There's no reason for you to be out there. Had you been full on meds with plenty of smokes and nades available, that's one thing. But because you have nothing, that should be an immediate retreat call from your teammates.
Talking about having nothing, the boom has been knocked down, so we'll have nothing around him to somewhat save him, because I doubt any of the members of Winside are going to look to revive him. Yeah.
Moon, he's already rotated up, and Ru, he's in the compound, say. He's like, that's not him. Maybe you can bait him. Maybe you can use him as bait for a little while, but we'll have to wait and see.
I love how some of the players just have zero respect on how they park these cars. They're just like, yep, driving it into the wall, and then I'll get out from there. So.
Yeah, that's a strategy. That's a way to maneuver around. Of course, not the optimal way if you want to keep your car intact for as long as possible, but indeed a way.
I wonder if they drive like that in real life, Toby.
I hope not.
I'm same here.
That's why they're gamers. They never leave their houses, you know?
Oh, wow. Hitting on those stereotypes right there, Toby. No tag team. First place in the first game of today's games in Erangel. Pulling out a fantastic performance. 10 points, 10 kills. Let's see if they can follow it up. They have a decent position. Nicely angled in terms of on top of the roofs. They've all positions covered, I feel.
And most importantly, they have a clear gateway to the northern side of the circle. They have one guy sitting on the roof you saw just before, sitting and looking up on the northern side too, making sure that nobody is coming up and potentially holding them with the next circle popping in just a short moment. It's gonna be fun no matter what happens, because we have a pretty decent split of teams on both sides right now. And unless if it really hard shifts somewhere, it should be pretty good for everyone. And well, I mean, this kind of is good for everyone. Only thing is now, again, still, do we go south? Do we stay north? Or do we go close to the river? I think Rostock is going to be met by quite a few teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I feel south is potentially decent, but holds a lot of risk. So there's not a huge amount of compounds available there.
Yeah.
And of course, Rostock, as you said, it's going to be available, but not that many, because a lot of teams are going to look to go there.
If you list up what we have, Watertown and Ruins, they're both pretty horrible places to be. And then you have the field position south of it, and you have the school, and you have apps. Apps is arguably not the best spot when you are when you are on the eastern side of the circle. It only really works when you hold off the west or the east that is open. Yeah. So yeah, not a whole lot of. I mean, there's available areas, but if you want to go optimal, like good areas, then most of them would be elsewhere.
So let's see how these teams do respond. Of course, they're still going to engage on each other outside of the circle, because if they get a chance, it's going to happen. Because look at this, 4AK, and we need a home. And quite close to each other. And also Moonwolf, they're also maybe looking to possibly pick a fight outside and moving into the circle.
Seems like Avangar and Quickmath are the two teams that have opted to stay north, and we are home in 4AK. I mean, they have been skirmishing for the longest of time now, and seems like they want to keep on going this way. There's no reason for them not to. They have been, they've been having fun here for quite a while so far, so why not keep shooting at each other when you're outside of the circle. Lipson does get a knock-in on towards northwest. Hopefully Rita has found some mets at this point. Still driving on forward. making her way back down towards her teammates.
So nade being thrown out by Poldark. Let's see if that will connect on to that.
read it.
Okay. No, not quite.
That car's gone.
Yeah.
Gotta remember to pull those hand brakes. It happens to everyone. There was a patch where it was actually an issue, but fortunately, I think that's been solved. And you just gotta remember, like, spam spacebar, whatever you keep on your handbrake to a couple of times every time you jump out of that vehicle.
Now, what do you make of Besiktas leaving until somewhat the last second to... not last second, but they're the last team to... one of the last teams to move in.
They're staying because they want to make sure where to go. Like, they do not want to overcommit here. And they have to overcommit. You cannot sit in ruins with the vehicles safe. You cannot sit north. There's nowhere to sit in the northern side. So they're staying up in Cube to, to hopefully see that next circle pop. Because even if the circle does go center up to a certain extent, we know that the circle 4 and the whole water aspect of things is going to, at least, unless if it's a very, very tough 50-50 split, tell us where the circle after that will go. And that's where it guarantees one side, right? So we'll see. Unless if this one goes right on the river, then we'll have to wait and see.
Looking at Riddle, they've also moved on outside of the blue zone into Pachinki. I'd say playing this somewhat the same idea as Besiktas, just waiting until this next circle pops.
They're doing the exact same thing, just from another side of the circle. You've pretty much got Moonwolf, Riddle, and Besiktas doing the exact same thing, just on each their side of things, of course. Riddle being far down south, are hoping that the circle goes towards him, but there's no guarantee whatsoever. We saw Fake go down just before. He's going to be back on up, and, that's pretty much the only two fights happening right now. Desperado against Winside, and then you have the guys up east, and we need a home and 4AK, but that fight's over, and I believe this should be a clear call that the circle is indeed going to go south, and that's why you see Besiktas on the western side right now turning their vehicles over and heading down to the southern side.
But where do they go from here, Toby?
Watertown?
Watertown.
Running?
We talk about Ronan. You know, Watertown isn't exactly the nicest place to occupy.
I mean, at this point, with this new circle popping, it's far from the best, but it's one of those spots that you don't have a lot of options. And the same thing for Quickmath. I mean, you can see it right now. Everyone's crossing over like there's no tomorrow, and there isn't. There is no tomorrow, because if you stay up there, you're gonna die. You have to try to do something.
It was just absolutely insane to just see all the teams around Pachinki just move into Pachinki as quickly as possible, get into those buildings. Of course, you don't want all the same members into one building, so they split up quite nicely. Quickmath able to get in there actually quite successfully with Hulo and Pelty in that one building, but they've got to be aware that two members of Tornado Energy are very close to them.
Yeah, they need to play it smart. Now, Riddle, they're making their way on up, actually right behind where PG-18 is. It's going to be hard for them. Nailup has already been taken down. You can see Nemrith, he wants to reposition himself a little better.
Just outside the circle, we see Gamerlegion and Riddle Esports getting closer to each other. Now, Besiktas, they're going around ruins to try to potentially head to Watertown or just outside, maybe even just outside south of Pachinki.
It's pretty interesting that both, that both Desperados and Winside, they're fighting that compound for the longest of time, and now they've both left it. I mean, this circle should go south. Of course, and one after that can go anywhere in the map, but this one should go south unless if something absolutely crazy happens. And yeah, that's just interesting, the fact that that one's open. If this one goes north, then I'm gonna be questioning life's decisions here.
I really hope it goes north. I'm not.
For those of you wondering how it works with its whole, everybody talks about circle 4 goes away from water. It generates 30 circles. Like the game, as far as I've been told at least, it generates 30 circles, and then out of those 30, it picks the circle that is the best fitting the settings that you've put in. So, of the land ratio that you've put in. Simsy, he's gonna find himself knocked. That buggy ain't gonna grant him any more safe passage, unfortunately. He's gonna go down. Handy Bro should be able to finish the kill. No, yours, let's do it.
Yeah, it was always a risk for him. Besiktas are going right in between Gamerlegion and Riddle Esports, and they'll be able to survive with 3 members.
Yeah, so in a scenario, just to finish up what I said before, so in a scenario where all 30 circles go north out of those random circles that have been generated, well, I mean, then obviously you can only pick a northern circle, right? And that's when they could go away from what you'd expected to an octave. 4AK and Avangar, you guys are most likely on the wrong side of this, but at least you get the fight over with now. That's good, because then they don't have to fight each other while they're running down towards the nuke circle. This is going to be interesting, though. Yep, circle south, to be expected. And now Avangar and 4AK, they should just turn around and like go each their way here and just get into the circle.
So what's good, I feel, for the teams in Roshawk you're obviously more of an expert when it comes to circles. Do you think this next circle could then shift up northwards?
It can go anywhere. Now it can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's no rules anymore. It's only Circle 4 and
Yep.
Circle 8 that shift away from water. Anything else can go everywhere on the map. And honestly, if you're in Rostock at this point, you're just locked down. You have to turtle it. There's
Pretty
nothing
much.
you can do. You cannot move before you're forced to move. There's too many teams in there.
Talking about too many teams, we need a home. The final 2 members.
Yep.
Look, and also
we
just
get there too?
yes, I think, is there space for us, guys? Please.
Yeah.
But they're on the edge of it, so I actually like that. So it means they can somewhat exit. I wouldn't say a little bit easier, but I don't think it's the worst place for them to be in. As Bjorn looks for Riddle Hort and gets himself knocked down.
He found himself Jord, not a whole lot more he could do. Now he has to back off, though. Hanny is there to try and help. But Riddle there in all kinds of pressure, and it's only Hanny Bro remaining. That rotation did not work out for them the way they wanted it to, and all of a sudden, Hanny all alone. He spots Bjorn. They both go away from nades. And he gets it back, though. It's going to be Dees from afar getting himself the knock on down. And Bjorn, fortunately, hearing those shots, he might be able to have a chance to run off here.
Well, yeah, he's going to be able to communicate that to the rest of his Gamerlegion team. Plus, you'll see it on the kill feed, so they'll kind of know, okay, PG are in that direction.
Yeah.
They'll know how to respond.
They'll have to respond too.
Yeah.
As I say, that PG does seem to make their way over towards Watertown yet again. Avangar, they've gone swimming. All 4 players are in the water, and once again, Nate's coming up towards Reader and Lipson, and that one would be the final one needed. O'Connell securing himself a double.
I tell you, O'Connell, man, I told you he is my player to watch for the rest of this finals. Every single game.
The rest of the finals?
For the rest of the finals, yes.
Hey, that's interesting.
Yep. I will be keeping a close eye on him. Suddenly,
Fair
big fan of him and getting that double kill. Good stuff.
Next, he's dead. Rezo got denied a point there. I'm sure he's going to be sad about that. But of course, a denied point is oftentimes at least a granted placement. So a few more of those, and they'll be in with a chance of getting themselves some points that way too.
So we do see Desperado have that school area all to themselves. Even though you talked about how it's not necessarily, well, okay, apartments more than school, but not exactly the best place to occupy yourself when you have to be aware of teams.
School is good. Apartments
is school, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it because there's no team heavily around them. They're going to have the high ground. They're going to have a lot of movement to go upstairs, on the roof, downstairs, etc., etc.
They have plenty of options. And now a site for rarity, I guess you can say. It's very, very seldom that we see a 4-man fight happening inside of Watertown. But here, guys, this is one of the rare ones. Max's horse going to go down. Onoctive gets himself needed too. And this is going to be a tough one. Avangar, they're under tons of pressure. Onoctive down. Tuck gets finished off as well now. And now it's all Aspirin left alive.
Always going to be tough for Avangar. They'd somewhat left it till the last moments to move in. They'd gone from the east over to the west to try and make somewhat of a decent escape, and that isn't really working out for them.
New circle has popped as well. You saw Vasco pushing on forward, trying to get into a safe space. There's a bit of a dip down there you can hide in, but of course we all know that you need to make sure that no one's above you. All those nades. Oh, wow. That one's right on the money from Gifted. Fortunately, Vasco hears it and gets to run away. Circle did shift as we saw, and this ain't gonna be easy for no one.
And Moon getting taken out by 7. Edelweiss and taken by Gifted Wise. So it's gonna be 7 looking somewhat the better between themselves and Winside for now, but it's a 2v2 situation.
You can see 7. They want to peek over. They want to get the finish offs on towards the Winside team, but there's just no way they can do that. They can't peek all the way up and over. And all these teams inside of Rostock, of course, having a hard time doing anything.
Yep.
Moonwolf trying to make the push in. They're going to be completely denied. Perfectix, good double nade thrown in there. He's going to go down in return, but it's just 2 players left on Moonwolf, and I'm not sure what they can do from here.
2 more points going over to Northern Lights. Nice to take those kill points when you can, as we do see Desperado from a distance. Keep an eye on how things are going between their opponents. It's going okay, biding their time, waiting. Let them take each other out, and then we'll pick up the pieces.
7, they get a crate thrown straight in their face, and now PG as well. have a tough task ahead of them and trying to make this transition across the open field. Yannick spotted out by T-Bone. T-Bone not able to land the shots needed. Does manage to find himself a nug in the end of things. He is a solo player, so you have to stay alive for as long as you can. And this nug coming in could be a crucial one. He has 3 nades available as well. He's going to start throwing them out now too.
Yeah, he was able to use most of that smoke to just peek around, but he gets taken out by Dies.
Nice positioning there over the top of the hill using the terrain in his favor. And now Gamerlegion, inevitable push over towards the Besiktas team. They had to crash into this one, and they are full on committed to it. 4 guys alive versus 2 men in Besiktas. Macken gets down 1, Bjorn gets the second.
Now it's just Tommel that's left inside that smoke. He knows he's there. Fex is heading towards it. I think Tommel's prone. Yes, he is. He's just waiting, hoping.
Ooh,
Fex gets knocked down. What is
wow.
Tommel going to do to respond? It's essentially 1v3.
Double headshot from, I believe that was fake from a distance, right? You can see he's prone on the backside and he gets down the first one. They had no idea it was still there, but it does go down in the end. Bjorn there to save the day, fortunately, but it's nowhere safe just yet. Of course, New Circle has yet to pop, but if it doesn't really hard shift towards him, I'm not sure exactly where they can go from here, and they did have to make a move now.
So School is still present on the side of Desperado, even though they've essentially exited that, and they look to be taken out. I believe it's Moonwolf.
Yeah, they need to wash. They need to wash out.
Moonwolf.
Moonwolf. Yeah, they need to wash out, eliminated before they can push anywhere else. They cannot have a guy just hiding it down behind him. And there you go. He's going to go down. Nate thrown straight towards him. Se7en Esports now making that push up towards PG. It's a full merry-go-round, and nobody wants to be in the top because, as you can see, everybody from the city can spot down towards him. But that's going to be PG out, and I was going to say Moonwolf. Se7en Esports lives to see another day, and they've got a few kills with them so far already.
And they even had a bit of pressure coming out from Tornado Energy from a distance as well. Although maybe that did actually help them in that situation against PG. But now we do see Avangar Asverin still keeping himself alive in this team and potentially getting Avangar up into the point standing. All they need is one more team to go out.
Just get a little closer to that circle and you'll be in it for the good one. Mac, and he's going to be the taxi driver driving back to pick up Hamster. It's going to be dangerous, of course, with multiple weapons looking his way. Eros trying to take out players. And look at this. Okay, bro. What?
Please tell me.
Okay, but what?
Okay, bro.
Are you okay, bro?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because he's gonna remember that.
Yeah.
He just whiffed something like 32 bullets. That is not what you want to have happen. He had the moment, he had everything going, but he completely and utterly whiffed it. Give it, though. He's not going to do that. He's going to take out the entirety of Tornado Energy. Great play coming in from him. But somehow, Quickmath, they are not supposed to still be alive with as many players as they are. That is going against everything I've ever seen in competitive PUBG.
Saying it though, anything can happen. So
anything does happen,
anything
clearly.
does.
I mean, yeah. How are Quickmath still 3 alive? That beats me.
Let's see if they can keep that team alive as 3 hours. You got to be able to see Pelty from there. Just
you say that.
There you go.
It's always tricky. They have their eyes focused on a lot of other things than the scope itself. Looking around, trying to get info, trying to give info as well, and doing everything accordingly before they start the rotation.
Gotta say, Quickmath are doing a great job of rotating up over the hill without being spotted. I know No Tag Team have got to be careful in their own right, for sure. But Quickmath just making the right plays, going through the edge and using that hillside to the best of their advantage.
We do have players just underneath them, though, and it seems like 2-0 hasn't really spotted them just yet. O'Connell is down there, and so is Eros, and they need to deal with them right now. Nate is going to come in, underhand thrown, over towards, that should be the nug on towards O'Connell, and indeed it is. He's going to go down. Eros is still alive, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, and they connect. You know, I feel bad because I'm a fan of O'Connell, so I'm automatically going to be biased. What? But now we see Jupsig does get the knockdown onto Hojo.
Yeah, I like the play coming in here.
Yeah.
While O'Connell and Eros was kind of forcing all the attention down towards them, Jupsig and Gibbet, they managed to push over the top and get themselves into a better position. Really, really smart play from them. And now Misa, Palantage, all that's left of the team, Tuho and Silenzo, they were taken down early. And these nades, they're only going to get closer.
Quickmath do still have 4 kills, so they're looking pretty good from a points point of view. As Aris gets knocked down by Mise.
Where's the counterplay? You cannot allow the flush to come in here. You had a chance to make such a good play here. Not gonna happen. Mise with the double. Can he get the third? Not gonna happen. Oh, wow. That was close. That was way too close for Confident. No tag off of just coming up such a good win. Almost completely through that one. 3v1.
That was so close. Great play by Quickmath, though. They got given the opportunity, they took advantage of it. As we see Buster taking down the final member of Winside Denethor, putting his team up into the top 5 from a standings point of view.
Yeah, good performance there. Managing to grind those placement points for the best of it. Calvin, his team, they're still sitting well in school, and somehow the circle has hard shifted east 3 times in a row now, and school is still inside this next one.
Hey, look, when it works for you, it works for you, right? They're standing on 5 kills as a team right now, looking good, looking protected. They know that Se7en and No Tag team, 2 of the other 3 teams left alive, have got to go up against each other, so they just gotta sit pretty.
They'll just get the third fight from the side. Yep. No of these teams, like nobody here, can put their focus on score right now. They need to deal with each other first. Gamerlegion, they're pushing on up from behind. Buster, only player left trying to stay put here. Not going to be easy. Se7en, though, got to give him credit. Managing to stay put for as long as they have been able to. It's been very impressive to watch. Buster now trying to run forward. Tanks a ton of blue in getting here. Now shots are fired over towards him, too. They know exactly where he is. It's just a matter of division. And there it comes.
As you see, 10 kills going over for No Tag team, but they do get taken out by Gamerlegion.
Yep, Gamerlegion managing to keep 3 guys alive, make that potentially 2. Mackin gets found, and now Desperados, they're making that move on out. Taucera already up towards the tree line here. They know they have to deal with him, and he can get it within nade distance pretty easily here.
Well, it's good using that one man to be somewhat of a distraction point so the focus comes out. But now the other 3 members of Desperado are joining him. Forces of evil on the side of Desperado looking to take out the side of Gamerlegion. Oh, wow.
What?
Okay.
What?
You're kind of still wondering what happened, right? That was game 2, ladies and gentlemen. That was Desperado coming out.
You have a position in the circle.
Yeah.
They have to leave school because the circle is pushing them out.